Hello everyone, I hope you're all enjoying your day. I'm going to hop on here really quickly to address the Stormi situation, okay? So I finally listened to the audio of Stormi addressing the rumors about her being friends with Arion. And this was posted on Empress Radio's YouTube channel several months ago. So I usually go to Empress Radio's channel for my social media content because I don't like to go on social media. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm there sometimes, but it's not something that I go to. Like, I have to make an effort to open up my Instagram or my Twitter or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. So Empress Radio does a great job of like cataloging all this information and putting it on her channel. So I saw her video and she posted the screenshot of what Arion said about Stormi, and then she posted the audio of what Stormi said about Arion. And from what I gathered from Empress Radio's video, Arion misunderstood her relationship or misinterpreted her relationship with Stormi the same way she misunderstood her relationship with Martel. Arion may have thought they were close or cool or friends or whatever, but I don't think that Stormi was ever her friend. I think that Stormi is an opportunistic clout chaser, which is why she went to Stormi and Martel's New Year's Eve party, and that's why Melody stopped talking to her. So Melody did an interview with Barney Blue the other day. I have to go watch it. I haven't seen it yet. But from what you guys are telling me in the comment section, Melody said she stopped dealing with Stormi because she was hanging out with Martel and Sheree at the New Year's Eve party. Now, was this before or after Melody changed her phone number? And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Melody did it because she figured out that Stormi is a clout chaser. She's loyal to whoever will get her to where she needs to be. So she pretended to befriend Arion in the beginning to get the tea from her. I don't think they were really actually ever friends. Okay? And Stormi said that she did tell Melody that, she was cool with Arion, and I think Melody was okay with it if she was transparent about it. But I think that Melody figured out that Stormi was an opportunistic clout chaser who was not loyal to her. Now, if they weren't really friends like that, it would not be realistic to expect Stormi to be loyal to Melody. But she also knows what Melody went through with Martel. So I'm hoping that she would understand that befriending or being close to Martel would be an issue for Melody, because Melody does not trust anyone who's close to Martel, because Martel will use Melody's friends or associates or whoever has connection to Melody to get more information from her or about her. So she doesn't want Martel to know anything about her personal life because she doesn't trust him, she doesn't like him, and she doesn't want to be around him. So for Stormi to go to the New Year's Eve party with Sheree and Martel, it kind of showed Melody that Stormi wasn't picking any sides and she wasn't loyal to anyone per se. She's someone who wants to clout chase. I think that Sheree has a larger or bigger social profile because of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Stormi probably figured that going to Martel's party would be a great opportunity to hobnob with a celebrity, right? And so, yeah, I don't think that Stormi is loyal to anyone. I think she's loyal to herself. As she said in her commentary, she's so happy to say that nobody made her, which is great. She was successful before the show started, so she pretty much can do whatever the fuck she wants to do. She didn't say all that, but I'm saying that. And so, yeah, Melody made the appropriate choice to disconnect from her. I will say this. I honestly do not think that Stormi was dumb enough. I don't think she was dumb enough. I don't think she was stupid enough to believe that she could turn Melody's fan base against her and replace her on her show. Who said that? Did she say she was planning to do that? Did she tell Arion that she was planning to do that? Did Arion say that that's what Stormi's plan was to get her on the show and to kick Melody off? Or is this more fan fiction? This is one of the reasons why I pulled all the way back from paying attention to the social media antics. All the way back. Because people were making up stuff. And then I would feel like an idiot reporting on something that somebody said that wasn't even true because someone wanted attention or whatever. I don't like that. I don't like being manipulated or played like that. So I was like, let me just fall back and not pay attention to any of the social media antics anymore because a lot of it is bullshit. Period. But after listening to Stormi's commentary, my original point still stands. I don't think she was stupid enough to believe that she could take Melody's fan base from her. Not after season 3. That's just insane to me. It's hard for me to believe that somebody would be that dumb or that arrogant. And like I said before, I never believed that she and Arion were actually friends. Stormi is nobody's friend. She's her own friend. She has her own agenda, her own objectives. She's pretty cutthroat. To be successful in any business, you have to have some level of tenacity, discipline, hard work ethic, and being cutthroat in a sense, right? Not to say she's a shady business person, but lots of entrepreneurial, successful people have this killer instinct when it comes to networking, socializing, business opportunities. So she's not a dummy. And I don't think that Stormi was dumb enough to think that she would take Melody's show from her. To be honest, if I suspected that was going to happen, I would not have let that happen. I would have devoted my channel into making sure that Arion didn't get on the show. And whatever secret machinations she had about taking over the show, I was going to make sure that was not going to happen. I'm not saying that I would have been the final say in that, no. But yeah, many content creators and many people in the audience and Melody's fans would never let Stormi take over this show, especially not to bring Arion on. I've expressed many times over a year ago that I did not want Arion on this show. There was no reason to bring her on the show. I have had that position from the very beginning, and it's not changed. I never cared about the entertainment factor of having Arion on the show. Melody's a real human being. Why would you have her enemy who helped destroy her marriage on the show? That was honestly a conversation that people were having in season, 3? And I'm like, that's absurd. That would be absurd. Melody's fan base would boycott the show. I personally would boycott the show because I don't think that Arion should be financially rewarded for what she did to Melody's family. Even if it wasn't Melody, if it was anybody else, I would not want to see a mistress who was proud to destroy a family on TV. And to be honest, the only reason why I'm cool with Martel still being on the show is because this is partially his brainchild too. He was the one who helped facilitate this project, okay? And he brought it to Carlos King, from what I remember. I think that Martel was the one who contacted Carlos King after Melody said she wanted to do a show, whatever. He had the contact. Melody paid for the consulting fee, and the rest is history. So that's the only reason why I'm cool with Martel still being on the show, because number one, this is partially his idea too. He and Melody brought the show together when they were married. And number two, I don't want him blaming Melody for him hitting rock bottom and his life falling apart because of his own decision. So I can tolerate Martel being on the show as long as he's respectful to Melody and he's not doing too much. But Arion being on the show and Stormi thinking that she can take over Melody's show, I don't think that's anybody is stupid enough at this point to believe that. Somebody mentioned Nene Leakes and Kenya Moore. Nene Leakes sabotaged her own career with her attitude. I remember when she first started getting Trump checks and she was on, what's that show? She was on that dance show. I forgot. It was big back in the day. It was like a bootleg modern version of Fame from the 80s. I forgot. Or Glee. That's what it's called. Glee. When she joined the Glee cast and then she was on a Celebrity Apprentice, something like that, her ego just got crazy. She started getting acting gigs and was like kind of shitting on the cast members or the show. Like it was not enough for her. She was too good for it. So she wrote her own ticket to destruction. It wasn't Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore saw an opportunity based on the fact that Nene was falling out of favor with many of the audience members because of her attitude and the cast members. They didn't want to deal with her either. So I don't think Kenya did that. That was Nene's doing. Melody has not done anything at this point to put anyone else in a position to take over her spot on the show. As a matter of fact, Stormi couldn't even replace Kimmy or Tisha. She doesn't have the star power to do that. So it's really hard for me to believe that Stormi actually thought she was going to take over Melody's show. Like, I have a hard time believing that people are really dumb sometimes. I'm not saying Stormi's dumb. I don't think she's dumb at all. Stormi is not a stupid person whatsoever. She's very crafty and she's very intelligent and she's very hardworking, all this other stuff. But to think that you would take the show over for Melody and to express that to Arion as if y'all gonna do it together, I don't believe that actually happened. I think that somebody made it up. I would need to see receipts or evidence of Arion saying that Stormi said they want to work together to take over the show. That's absurd to me. That is absurd. It's just absurd. Stormi is not Machiavellian. She's an opportunist and she's a clout chaser. But a Machiavellian person knows how to play chess. Stormi doesn't know how to play chess. She can play checkers. She knows how to meet and greet and do certain things to get what she wants. But chess is like psychological warfare. You have to know how to outthink your opponent. And I don't know how Stormi would have thought that she could outmaneuver Melody on her own show. Like, maybe if Melody fell out of favor with her fans or supporters, then perhaps, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So to me, it's incredulous to believe that Stormi actually was trying to take over Melody's show and she was plotting against her behind her back. No. However, I do think that Stormi is an opportunist. I think she's a clout chaser. I just think she wants to be famous by any means necessary. So going to Sheree's party and Martel's party isn't because she's cool with Martel and Sheree's, because she sees it as a business opportunity, a networking opportunity for her. Period. Just in case she wants to hop over to Bravo for business or whatever. And she could fit in with the cast because she has an actual business. It's just that culturally it may be a difference. I don't know. But yeah, you guys, I know y'all want to defend Melody and protect her and make sure that all of the demons and dragons are slayed before they get to her. But sometimes making up issues or making mountains out of molehills can be more detrimental than seeing things for what they are. I talked about this months ago when I said that Melody supporters were unintentionally amplifying the voice of her mother. Her mother's irrelevant. The reason why I think she got on the show recently is because of the social media antics. She shouldn't be on the show. I don't want to hear from her. Who is this? She's unimportant. But because she didn't like Melody, everybody does not have to like Melody. Melody will be fine regardless. As long as they're not in her way, they're not using her, they're not manipulating her. It's okay to hate from the sidelines. She talked about this in her song. It is okay to not like her. But what happens is, if you guys want to carry pitchforks to everyone's house or to everyone's social media page who doesn't like her, that's going to make situations worse for Melody. Because then it's going to alienate her or isolate her. And then the people in the cast are going to believe that Melody is sicking her fans onto the cast members, causing rifts when there are no rifts. So some of you guys are making things more complicated for Melody than they have to be. Melody's very smart. She's very astute. She's very capable of defending herself from her haters. Okay. Now I will say this. If I did see, or if I did sense that Stormi was trying to take over Melody's show, or trying to kick her off the show, or trying to make her lose favor with her audience, then I would address it. As I've addressed Martel trying to do this and Teacher trying to do this in the past. I have no problem seeing things for what they are. The problem is that sometimes the audience is putting 100 on 10 for the sake of what? For the sake of what? When did Stormi say that she was trying to take Melody's show from her? And even if I were to read between the lines, I honestly don't think that Stormi was delusional enough to believe that she could take Melody's show from her and bring Arion on. Again, I don't know who said this, but I keep seeing this comment in my comment section. When was this confirmed? Who said that was going to happen? And if Arion and Stormi were really friends, how come Stormi denied them being friends? Ever. She said, I knew of her. Yeah, she knew of her to get her business. Their relationship was based on 6 degrees of separation. Arion wasn't even Stormi's client. So they weren't friends like that. Stormi just wanted to be nosy and find out about what was going on between Martel and Arion and Melody. And that was it. That's why she dropped Arion like a bad habit as soon as she got on the show. Arion said Stormi was fake, right? So if Arion is saying Stormi was fake, and you guys believe that Arion and Stormi had a real friendship, then how come Stormi did not execute her plan to stab Melody in the back? Because if she had maintained a relationship with Arion after she got on the show, Arion would not have dropped on. She would have kept quiet. But it seems like Stormi cut off Arion as soon as she got what she wanted and she was on the show. That's what it seems like to me. So again, I think that Arion falsely assumed that Stormi was her friend. Stormi is nobody's friend in this setting. Okay, she has a very close-knit situation going on with her husband, her siblings, and her friends or whatever. A lot of people with money tend to become more exclusive when it comes to their friendships. They tend to associate with other people who have money or other people who have power or something that they want. Arion had nothing that Stormi wanted or needed besides a tea about the show. Arion could not get Stormi onto the show. Nobody wants Arion on the show. Martel don't even want her on the show. So all of a sudden, Stormi's going to have the power to get Arion on the show? No, that was not going to happen. I don't believe that that was her objective. I think Stormi wanted to be nosy and find out about Melody's business. And then when she got on the show, she didn't need to go to Arion anymore. She can get the tea straight from the horse's mouth. As a matter of fact, like Arion went on a whole press tour, whatever. After season 2 or 3, after the divorce, she went on Tasha K, got all these views. There was no need for Stormi to hang out with her anymore. Why didn't Stormi execute her plan then? If she was real Machiavellian, she would have been more patient. She would have been more patient, and she would have set up the chess pieces to do what she wanted to do, which was take over the show. As a matter of fact, if she really wanted to play the game like that, she could have got her mother to play along too. If she really wanted to pull the wool over Melody's eyes. If she really wanted to. So she could have said, Mommy, I need you to apologize to Melody. And her mother would say, yeah, back in 2020, I had some harsh things to say about Melody, but I was wrong. I didn't know how Martel was doing her. Martel, you ain't shit. You a dog. All the while plotting to stab Melody in the back. No. No. Stormi is not dumb. She's not. And she's not sophisticated enough to pull off that type of betrayal, to be honest. Which takes time and patience to execute. Period. Now, I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but these are the reasons why I do not believe that Stormi was plotting on Melody behind her back. Yes, she used Melody in the show. She did use her. And she's cool with using anybody to get what she wants. That's fine. I agree with that. If I was Melody, I would not talk to her or deal with her either. But Stormi is not smart enough, or she's not dumb enough to think that she can take the show from Melody. That's just insane. It's absurd. You guys remember how she reacted when we called her out for being too, I don't want to say ghetto, but yeah, she was a bit contentious when she first started the show. It was always drama with her. And I was like, nah, you're doing too much. So yeah, and she felt some kind of way. Not because I said it, but many other people said it too. They were like, nah, you're doing too much. You're a bit hood. You're a bit, this is not loving hip hop. This is loving marriage. Like, we don't like that kind of behavior. So she pulled back. Okay. She was rattled by that commentary. And so she stepped away, and she was like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this. She felt the pressure, right, of being on a public platform as popular as this show. If you're going to crack under that kind of pressure and nothing's even happened yet, you don't have the balls to try to take this show from this lady. And to be honest, I don't think that she hated Melody. Like, to want to do something like this, you have to have some level of animosity or hatred for a person. Not just jealousy, but like animosity and hatred. I'm going to plot and plan to betray you behind your back. I don't think that was the case. I honestly think that she used Arion the same way that she used Melody, the same way she wanted to use Martel and Miss Sheree. Networking, business, that's all. Nothing personal, Arion. Nothing personal, Melody. It's just business. Just here for business. That's all. I was a businesswoman before I even started this show. That's what Stormi said, right? I was already a made woman before I got to this show. This show didn't even make me, so I don't need to be here. Now, I did see a comment in the comment section that disturbed me a little bit. Somebody said, this show may not have made you, but this show can definitely break you. And it was like a veiled threat. I didn't like that too much because Stormi is still a Black woman business owner. She provides a service to the community. We need more Black people who are entrepreneurs. I don't think that anybody's success should be weaponized against another person's business. And that's something that people should be careful about. Just because you don't like Stormi for various reasons does not mean that she doesn't deserve to feed her family. She doesn't deserve to pass a legacy down to her children, especially if she's not doing anything actively to hurt Melody. I don't know what she's done to hurt Melody actively outside of talking to Arion before she knew Melody and attending Martel and Sheree's party as a networking opportunity. Doesn't mean that they're cool. Doesn't mean that Stormi should be trusted. I'm not saying that at all. But it's a lot to want someone's business to be destroyed because you don't like them as a person. That's a whole lot. And Stormi has not cheated with anybody's man. She hasn't, robbed anybody. She's not a thief. She's not a murderer. She's not a drug dealer, drug addict. Like, we celebrate far worse in our community. We exalt and venerate and celebrate men who do far worse than Stormi has. And this is not defending her behavior because, again, she is an opportunist. Fine, I can agree with that. But the business thing, she employs lots of Black people. Black people need jobs, right? We can't rely on other races to keep giving us work. Stormi is providing a valuable service and business to her community, and so is Melody, and so are the rest of the members of the comeback group, which is why I love the show in the beginning, because they were providing a valuable service to the community that was not about drugs and prostitution and criminal activity. these are legitimate business owners. So I would not want Stormi's business to be destroyed because someone doesn't like what she says on social media. That's a bit too much for me. Stormi is a black woman married to a black man. They have a child together. They have a business. They hire black people. We need more employment opportunities in our community. So I think we should temper that. That's another reason why I started to pull back from the show too, because some of the fans got really nasty. And it's like, why would I want to keep up with the show if the fans are getting nasty? Why? I don't want to be in that space all the time. That's too toxic for me. And then, I can't say what I really want to say, or I don't say what I really want to say because they'll turn to World War III on my platform, and that's going to mess up the integrity of my channel. And I don't want to get into the stand wars. Melody supporters versus Martel supporters versus Melody supporters versus Martel supporters versus me. If you don't say what I want you to say, I'm going to attack you. Like, listen, I get that you're passionate about the show, but as some of you guys may know by now, I have a bit of a temper, okay? And so I don't clap back because I just feel like it. I clap back when I feel offended by someone else's ignorance, okay? Or someone else's disrespect. If you're going to be disrespectful and ignorant, then I'm going to respond, not in kind, because being disrespectful and ignorant in kind would not solve the problem. I'm going to try to educate you on why I see things the way I see them, but it's going to be an extensive explanation, and it's going to not sound the way you want it to sound. So to avoid getting into debates about the show, about things that people have not even confirmed yet, it's not even substantiated, it's just sometimes fan fiction, sometimes assumptions, whatever the case may be. I'm guilty about speculating about the show, but 95% of my speculations are accurate because they're based on what the cast members are actually saying. Once you start to go to social media for bullshit, it gets convoluted and then information gets misconstrued. In our community, there are lots of people who don't mind spreading lies about others. I have to keep that in mind and not take offense or not take it personally. Like, there are some people who get off on lying on someone or lying about somebody. I tried not to do that. I tried to avoid being deceptive or manipulative, okay? I try to use my platform to teach people how to deal with certain types of relationships or dynamics and to see things for what they are. Use their discernment and critical thinking skills. But again, there's a difference between inductive reasoning, critical thinking, intuition, and logic, and someone just flat out lying about somebody just because they don't like them. That's a whole different dynamic. And I don't want to be mixed in with the latter. I don't. So again, I pulled away from the show for that very reason. I said I was going to more than once. And maybe you guys didn't believe me, but that's what happened. I'm still interested in the show, but not the social media antics. It's too much. The social media antics make this show not fun to watch. Okay? Alright guys, I look forward to reading your feedback. Please like, share, and subscribe or not. And I will speak to you soon.